One of the best pieces of advice I've ever read about relationships is this. A man calling you baby means nothing. A man moving into your house means nothing. A man calling you his girlfriend means nothing.
What?
A man marrying you means nothing. Do you know what means something? A man changing his ways to keep you. That's what means something.
I call total BS. She's totally bluffing.
Oh, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you here. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut If I Break Up With My Fiancé After She Showed a Startling Change of Behavior After Getting Engaged? I, male 32, just recently proposed to my girlfriend of 2 years, Sharon, female 30, like a month and a half ago. And it feels like the second the ring got on her finger, her attitude and behavior took a total 180. The entire time we were dating, we seemed exceptionally compatible. At least it seemed we shared common beliefs and morals. 7 weeks ago, I proposed and she said yes, and I felt like it was the happiest moment for the two of us. But not even a week later, it's like her attitude totally flipped. I thought I knew all of her friends, but one day I came home and there were 6 women I've never seen before, and Sharon introduced me to them. I was curious as to why I was just now meeting them when I already met Sharon's 2 best friends, Michelle and Octavia, both not present. Over a year and a half ago, Sharon said she wanted to make sure that we were a sure thing before I met her inner circle. When getting engaged means you're a sure thing. I found this strange, not to mention it was a weeknight, and they were quickly draining my wine rack. Sharon still had her own place, but she stayed with me so often she practically lives here. Still, I found it incredibly rude when they left with 4 empty bottles of rosé in their wake. I tried to talk to Sharon about having uninvited guests on weeknights, and she dismissed my grievance very flippantly. More, that she brushed me off. The following week, she went out with the girls several times, and when she brought the girls to my place, twice without notice, once with notice to appease me, her words, they all treated me like a butler, shaking their empty wine glasses at me for refills. Time out, because look, if you brought the girlies home and I was available, I'd butler for you because I love you and that's what I would want to do. But if some bitch starts shaking an empty wine glass at me, get out! Out! No, leave the glass. Put the bottle down, put the glass down, and get the f*** out.
This woman was stepping on this man's heels when she started to do this. You can see the disrespect really. Inviting people to his house whom he's never met is mad disrespectful. But let's just keep watching. The story continues.
After the 4th time, I made it clear that I will get a locked wine rack. Sharon just called me no fun after that. It gets worse. Sharon decided that me and the girls got off on the wrong foot and said that we should have dinner together at a nice restaurant.
Oh no.
You know that means that she wants you to buy them all a very fancy dinner, right? Well, I went and it was not great. The 6 kept prodding me about my life, my house, my career, but they deflected every question that I asked. It got especially bad at night when they started talking about modern relationships and jealousy. And one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page about, specifically what ifs regarding polygamy and being friends with exes. To my shock, Sharon said that we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 to how she expressed herself on these things only a month prior, where she was vehemently against keeping ex-intimate partners and friend circles and was staunchly monogamous. The worst part was when the bill arrived, Sharon announced it should be together and slid me the check. I told her she can't be serious, and we got into a bit of an argument. I ended it by putting my amount down in cash and walked out, leaving them to figure out the rest of the bill. The next days after that, Sharon kept calling me toxic and fragile, but every time I pushed at it, she would give me an apology and promise that she was just stressed at work. It's nuts. We haven't even planned the wedding yet. The worst part was this Monday when at work I got a Nest doorbell alert, checked and saw Sharon and one of her 6 new friends arriving at my place, going in and exiting with my golf clubs. This set was a gift from my father and it cost a pretty penny too. So Sharon lending it out with my permission got me pissed. I immediately called Sharon and told her and her friend to return the clubs. Sharon tried to gaslight me with, "But you promised to lend the clubs to her boyfriend, remember?" I told her the club's cost would move it into a serious crime, and her friend had an hour to return them or the cops would be called. Sharon kept insisting she got my permission, and I told her to cut the crap. Well, not 45 minutes later, I got another notification of Sharon and her friend coming back with the clubs and going inside, leaving them. Sharon's friend flipping off the Nest doorbell on the way out. I got home and saw Sharon's friend literally just threw the clubs and bag on the living room floor. Sharon tried to talk to me about my toxicity again, and I told her again to cut the crap. I said if I knew this is how she was, I never would have proposed. That seemed to freak her out, and she again insisted that she was just stressed at work, but I wasn't buying it anymore. I told her to return the ring and her key, and we would talk about our relationship this weekend. She cried and she begged me not to cancel the engagement and insisted that it was just stress. I told her again that we will talk about it this weekend. She finally relented. I had my house rekeyed anyways after she left just to be safe. Sharon has been texting me constant messages of love and apologies for getting swept up and insisting she was only wanting to show me off to her close friends. Is that what showing you off is like?
So this man went on this dinner date knowing it was already cooked. She invited 6 of her friends. The dinner bill came and she wanted him to pay for 8 people. Him, his fiancée, and her 6 friends. Who even does that? This man honestly stood up for himself and walked out of there paying only what he ate. And that's what he was supposed to do. Nothing less.
Before we get into the top comment and some additional information here, the friends being like, I don't know, you must have done something to this up. Be like, hey, you, by the way, like you just did something to this up. With that assessment, asshole. Yeah, it's got to be your fault, right? They wouldn't just be like this. Now, these friends were always like this. You didn't get introduced to them until after you put a ring on it. And then she somehow took that as, you're my bitch now, and treated you like her bitch in front of her friends because that's what they think is cool. And apparently to be man enough to be with her, you have to be her bitch and be willing to be treated like shit and let her friends do the same and just take shit from you. It's all good. That's being man enough for them. Cool. Top comment. Oh, no. Dude, you need to end this relationship. She has been putting on a false front the whole time. She knows how toxic they are. She figured now that you had proposed, you couldn't leave. That's who she really is. The person you dated for 2 years, that's a false front to get the proposal. It's like abusers who never hurt their spouse until after they're married. They know that they need to hide it because they know it will drive the partner away. They wait till the commitment is deep enough. She showed her hand too fast and too early. Agree with that. Kick her ass to the curb immediately. Call her out on every gaslight. Every time she cries and says she's stressed or whatever, ask her why she lies 100% of the time in front of her friends then. If she's telling the truth, they can come over. And in front of her friends, she will for the whole evening disagree with them on polygamy, open relationships, your role. They need to be open, etc., etc. Tell her if she's just stressed, she must be willing now to call them and openly admit all of what she was saying with them was untrue. Or this is who she is. She gave you a pleasant fiction when you were alone, and it was easy to hide. Now you see who she chooses to be, who she wants to be. Dump her. Move on. Date Michelle. Date Michelle? Where'd Michelle come from? Oh, one of the OG besties. Yeah. Who, NTA, brother. Am I the astronaut for if you broke up with her after she did this 180? NT freaking A. What do people expect? Yeah. She got too comfy too quick. Yeah. Too comfy too quick. I'm going to go out on a limb here and also say Sharon has been married before. Sharon's divorced. But she treated her husband like this. This is what ended their marriage. And she was just looking for someone else to take up this role. Yep. Take up the same role. And it's not so much of finding the right person. It's finding the person who has the means that she's looking for and is willing to put up with the amount of shit that she wants to give. That's all it takes. You clearly are not that. Also, bravo for you. And I'm actually going to green flag you here, OP, because you actually didn't f around. You put up boundaries immediately. You're like, hey, you return those freaking golf clubs or I'm calling the cops. That was a boundary. It had consequences attached and you were serious about it and they brought that shit back. It doesn't matter if she threw them. It doesn't matter if she flipped off the camera. That just shows you the kind of people she's friends with. The kind of people she chooses as her inner circle should tell you a lot about who she is. Yeah. I mean, if people change like this, don't stick around. Don't stick around. Don't do it. The problem is that he was 2 years deep into this before he found out who she really was. Yeah. And I feel like that's a common thing too.
Yes, this man should cut all ties with this woman immediately. She wasted 2 years of his life pretending that she was going to be a person like a mother to his kids, and this is the kind of shit she pulled.
All right, we have an update. All right. Here's the update. 2. Am I the astronaut if I break up with my fiancée after she showed a startling change of behavior after getting engaged? Sharon's been gone now for an hour. Breakup is official. I have the ring back. I did talk to Michelle via Facebook, and Michelle said she and Octavia were cousins of Sharon, and Michelle also said that she knew the six and didn't care for them. Michelle didn't say much more than that. I did meet Sharon's parents, and they both seemed to like me, and the topic of Michelle and Octavia never came up around them. None of our finances were intermingled yet, but it was planned for later this month, which won't happen. Oh, she pulled this shit before you guys even... Okay. I invited 3 of our mutual friends, Casey, John, and Mike, to be here when Sharon got here. Sharon showed up and was surprised to see that we had company. I said they were here for both of our sakes. Sharon wanted to phone 3 of the 6 to come over to even things out, and I refused, and I used the club theft as a reason. Sharon sat on the couch very dramatically. Wait, hold up. How do you sit on a couch very dramatically? Like a teenager plopping down on the couch?
Having a tantrum.
And then asked if I really wanted to make this public. I outright asked why she changed so much after the engagement and why she hid the existence of the 6. Sharon then went in again about how she insulates her inner circle until a partner is vetted. I called BS. I met her parents. What's more inner circle than your parents? Sharon tried to deflect, but I wouldn't have it. I pointed out how for the last month, her friends dropping by cost me nearly $500 in wine, which she, by the way, made no attempt to reimburse. I also pointed out that her trying to make me pay for an 8-person dinner bill without asking me first. She again said that she wanted to show how great of a guy I was and how she clearly misjudged me and was disappointed in my attitude. I then asked about the clubs. She tried gaslighting with, "You totally said it was okay, remember?" And I kept saying, bullshit.
This man handled this situation perfectly, and honestly his thought process was brilliant. This man was definitely smart for calling her mutual friends to come. He changed the locks just to be safe, and we can all agree that was a smart move. The resolution in this video is, I want you all to understand there are people like this woman who will act out and play a certain role in your life. You think they are a lifesaver, but really they are not. You have to watch out for them and be wary.
I feel like, one, she played her crazy hand way too early. You don't have someone until you're married, and then you don't really have someone, because if you're going to show up and be an asshole, then they obviously get the choice to leave you. And I don't understand women that act like men are beneath them and are there to serve them, because that's exactly how she acted. This woman needs to find new friends. She needs to find 6 new people to be her friends, because these people are bad influences.
Question for you.
Yes.
Is the 6, the 6 kind of seems like they're
At least got me.
They're like a hive mind. They're like it's just like a symbiotic relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so the goal is for one of them to land a guy that they can all take advantage of as a group.
Yep.
And they just kind of take turns snagging a guy. Maybe it takes 2 years to get him to the point where you can drain his wine cellar and get him to pay for an expensive meal for everybody, but everybody kind of takes their turn getting there. Is that what this is?
I don't know, because I would never treat someone like this. Not in any way, shape, or form. I would never treat another human being like this, because it's degrading, it's disgusting, and who wants to, like, you want a relationship with a partner, and he thought he had found that, but really it was false. Everything that she did was to get what she wanted, and that was who we saw in this story. And this literally happens, because we've witnessed it firsthand. It was wild, and it's still wild. And it's honestly very, it's shocking, it's confusing. People actually do this, and I think that narcissists in general, I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but they have no trouble acting like what they think that person wants, and then when they feel secure in that relationship, to flip that switch and become who they really are and expect someone to take it.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
Who would choose to be this way, though? That's where I'm confused. If this is who she really is, that's one thing. Also,
I don't know. I told the girls last night that popularity in high school means nothing after you graduate.
It's worth nothing.
It means abso-fucking-lutely nothing. And if you still think that your popularity in high school means something, I'm sorry. Grow up. Because it's done. It's over. You get your diploma, you're done.
That brings us to the end of the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, a sub to the channel will be fantastic.
I'm done. I no longer have any connection to this world. I'm gonna go home and kill myself. Goodbye, friends.